Remodelers and custom builders, today we are talking about lead nurturing and how you can actually get way more sales out of your existing leads by making sure that you treat leads in different buckets differently. So we're going to walk through all of this today. We're going to talk about researching and ready and what to do if they're in this bucket and what to do if they're in this bucket. Let's get into it. So we're going to start with the standard marketing and sales funnel. And I've been doing this a long time, and what I've realized over the years is that leads really fall into one of two buckets. They are either researching or they're ready. So they're either researching, thinking about a remodel, building that custom home, or they're ready to buy. They're ready to talk to somebody. And I think marketers for many years have tried to break down this researching bucket into, well, they're way at the top of the funnel and they only need this type of information, or they're kind of in the middle of the funnel, so they need this type of information. I don't think that's actually how it plays out, and that's not been my experience. If you're researching, you're kind of just gathering all kinds of information, and every buyer is different. Buyers that are quote unquote at the top, maybe just starting their research, some buyers will they'll just gather research on everything. Some people will say, oh, I'm just kind of getting some ideas, and then later they'll want to get some information on pricing. But everyone is just researching until they're actually ready to talk to somebody. And so that's kind of the delineation. And so when you get leads into your business, they land on your website. If you're treating them all the same, then you're missing out on opportunity. So we're going to start with those that are ready. And we're going to break down what we should do with these leads. So if somebody's ready, they are filling out, we call these CTAs over here, we call them on-ramps to sales. And so what that looks like is contact us, schedule a consultation, that is a phone call into the business, that is a direct email, that is a chat. There's lots of different ways that somebody can on-ramp into a sales conversation, and so we have lots of these options. For these people, we need to be fast. We need to get back to these people quickly. They are ready, and they might have been researching for months or years, and now they've said, I'm ready to find somebody to help me execute on this project. And so if they happen to make it to your site and they happen to fill out a contact us form, we need to be quickly. So we need to respond. So ideally, this is under 5 minutes, and we would have a phone call, we'd have a text, we'd have an email. And if we don't get a hold of them, we're going to repeat that the same day. We're going to do that again. If we don't get a hold of them, this is day 2 through 5. We're going to repeat this process again. They reached out. They said they're interested in talking about their project. We want to care about that. So we want to show them that we care about that, and we're going to reach out to them quickly. So speed is really important in the ready bucket. And if that's all you take away from this is, hey, somebody that did one of these, they basically said, hey, I would like to talk to somebody. I'm raising my hand here. Then let's get back to them quickly. Let's be persistent about it. And then we will connect with them. That is the goal. Now, I think most people know, hey, if somebody does one of these on-ramps, I know I should reach out to this lead. Many of you are not doing it quickly, and so that is a huge area for improvement. But we kind of know how to handle those leads. The ones we don't know how to handle are people that are researching. So what this looks like is we have a lead magnet. And so somebody hits your website and they're browsing around, they're reading your process page, they're looking at some project spotlights, and they're just browsing around. But then they see something. Oh, there's this cost guide. And they click the button and we say, hey, enter your name and email, and I'll give you this cost guide. It'll educate you on different project types, budget ranges in the local area and what to expect. Cool, that's super valuable. I'm willing to trade my information for that. Somebody downloads it, and then typically what happens is nothing. Nobody follows up with this lead. And so they just kind of sit there, nothing happens, and we just hope that they come back when they're ready, which again, this could be months or even years go by. And so they downloaded this, they continue their research, 6 months go by, they've never heard from you again, and then they pop onto somebody else's website, they're ready, they fill out a form, the other company contacts them, deal is gone. Again, you have gotten somebody to your website and they browsed around, filled out a form, gave you their information. They are in this bucket. They are thinking about it. Now, they may be a non-buyer, but what we've seen over the years is that many of these people, a huge percentage of these people, they are buyers, they are real buyers, just not today. It's going to be in months or years. So, what should we do? Well, one, you should call them. This is crazy. I think this just came up this week or last week. One of our clients said that they do call people that download lead magnets on their site, and they're booking 50% of them into meetings. That's wild. I wouldn't expect that would happen all the time. That number is probably inflated. But imagine you get 20, 30, 40 of these a month, and you're getting 10 or 20% of them to book a meeting simply because you called them, and you called them quickly. So call, and call fast. Email, send a follow-up email. Text. Does it look familiar? We should be doing this same thing up here. It's just a different approach. This one is, hey, thanks for filling out a form on our website. So glad you reached out. I'd love to set up some time to talk, or if you have time right now, we can talk about your project, see if we're a good fit. Cool. That one's pretty straightforward, direct. This one, I know a lot of people say, what do I do? This person downloaded something on my website. Like, why should I call them? Call them up. Hey, I saw you downloaded our cost guide. I'm curious, is there something specific that you're looking for? Are you thinking about a project? And you can just segue right into that conversation. And a lot of times what happens is they are researching, they kind of want to reach out, but they're just looking for a little more information first. And then you come in and you show ultimate professionalism by them filling out a form and you following up quickly and saying, hey, I saw you were on our site. How can I be helpful to you? What else are you thinking about? They're probably thinking about their project. So let's talk about it today. And that might just be the nudge to pull them right down here. And then you have on-ramped them right into the sales process. Now, that will be some percentage, and it's probably going to be less than 50%. You know, it could be 10, 20, 30%. It will depend on your market, your targeting. And so let's say, okay, great. Let's say it's 20%, you connect with them and you book a meeting. You're already winning more than you were before. You're getting a lot more meetings. What do we do with the other 80%? The other 80%, we have a couple of cool options. We can do some automation. And so this would just be your standard, you know, you could do like a 3 to 7 email sequence. And this can be contextual to whatever they downloaded. So they downloaded something on cost, cool. Now I'm going to send you, here's our cost guide, thanks so much. Hey, if you ever want, book a meeting. The next one can be, hey, you might also want to know a little bit more about our process. Here's what that looks like. Link to a video, link to your process page. Oh, by the way, if you ever want to chat about your project, click here. And we always offer them an on-ramp to sales within these little emails, right? So this email goes out, email 2 goes out, you got 1, 2, 3. And so this one is a thanks for downloading. This one's, hey, here's a little bit more about our process. This one is, hey, here's a project spotlight. Here's a blog. Here's another blog, or here's a video about our process. And each one of these has something of value, and then an on-ramp to sales, which is that CTA right here that says, hey, if you ever want to chat about your project. And then you just repeat that. Here's some value, here's some stuff that will be helpful to you. I know you're researching, so here I'm giving you valuable information. And when you're ready, I'm ready. I've got you right here. So we include those two things. It's very simple. Then we can also put them onto our standard newsletter. The funny thing about the newsletter is it looks very similar to this, but the advantage of doing this early on is that you can space these about 1 or 2 days apart, and so they get a lot of touches really quickly. And so it builds that familiarity with your business. And then after that, we probably don't want to hit them up every 2 days for the next months and years. So we'll flow them into the newsletter. And this could be, 1 to 4 times per month. Probably the sweet spot is somewhere in the middle, 2 or 3 times. And that way you're staying top of mind, you're adding value. We're going to do the same concept here. Hey, I'm linking you to our latest project. Hey, I'm linking you to a helpful blog post. I'm linking you to a video that we just did on a behind the scenes. I'm linking you to a testimonial from a customer that just finished their project. I'm doing a walkthrough. Those are all pieces of value that you can send knowing that they're researching. So again, what's going to help them learn more about the process, set expectations should they make it into sales with you, and then just be present. Because again, we will never control the timing. So as they're going through this timeline of months and years, we don't get to pick when they're ready to remodel their kitchen. What we do get to do is say, I will be there with you until the end, So if they're gonna be there for 3 months or they're gonna be there for 3 years, it's super easy to just have them on the newsletter, adding value to them, adding value, and then saying, I'm here when you're ready. I've got an on-ramp to sales. So if you're treating all of these leads in these 2 buckets the same, you're missing a ton of opportunity. But within this, the thing that will probably unlock the most for you in terms of throughput to sales is this, and making sure you're doing that in both of these buckets. Hearing that client of ours was converting 50% of people that were downloading the cost guide just by calling them quickly, that shows you how much opportunity there is to make sure that you are being professional, you're following up with these people, you're saying, how can I help? It's just a slightly different framing than these people because they directly asked for a sales conversation. These people didn't directly ask, but again, they're on your site, they filled out a form, they gave you real information. So you're just saying, hey, I'm here to help. You probably have questions about this big project that you're thinking about. How can I be of service to you? And then as you work your way into that conversation, it quickly becomes, cool, when are you thinking about doing this project? Oh, 2 years from now? Cool, I'm just gonna mark that in my CRM. I'm gonna add a task that I can personally follow up. Maybe I'll follow up every 6 months and just say, hey, I know we're still a year and a half out. Just wanted to say hello, we're still thinking about you. I wanted to send you these couple of resources. We've just completed a couple of projects. Here's a happy customer of ours. Do that again in a year. Hey, I know we're still a year out, but wanted to send you these couple of things. 4 touches over the course of 2 years could make all the difference. But you'll only get that opportunity if you call them quickly, get them on the line, and learn more about their timeline. Because when they're in this mode and they download this, until we get them on the phone, we really don't know anything. And so this allows you to uncover information that will allow you to contextualize your strategy with that particular lead. And then anyone else that you never connect with, they're going to go into this so that we can kind of one to many deliver value and stay top of mind. So as you're looking at your system of nurturing and treating leads differently, we want to acknowledge that people are either researching or ready. If they're ready, we're going to be fast, we're going to be persistent, we're going to get them on the phone. If they're researching, we're going to be fast, we're going to be persistent, try to get them on the phone, but recognize, hey, if they don't pick up the first couple of times, chances are they are just researching. So now I'm going to flow them into here where they're going to get some nice value-driven automation and then a value-driven newsletter. And I'm going to stay in touch with them for months and years. And I know that some percentage of these people will then move from researching down to ready as we move across this timeline. And so over time, what that does, it takes this funnel and it expands the bottom because you have more of these people that you've been building some trust and credibility with. So hopefully this helps in you taking the next steps towards improving your nurturing process, how you treat leads, how you nurture leads, and how you move more of them into the sales funnel. All right, with that, we'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.